No, we got Luca versus Robin.
Okay.
Now this is where I hope Tao gets a little more involved, because with Sanji, Luffy, and Zoro, I know bits and pieces about. I know what they're about, but not fully. But I know some things. But unlike the cuttings through steel shit, I didn't know that one. But either way, those three were easy. Those three were simple. The big three were easy. So with Robin, I don't know her full capabilities.
Oh.
So I'm just gonna like let Tao do the explaining. So I went two of these starting off the fight. Mr. Tao, how would you think the fight would? How would you think like a showdown between these two would go out?
I don't want to be like unfair, but like if it's Ahim versus what's it called, Robin.
No, it's Luca versus Robin.
Luca's Robin. Luca, she does the swinging sword stuff, but like Robin's power is just busted in general. If Luca's fast enough, where if she has like a speed advantage over like Robin, and she can move her arms faster than Robin can see them, then that'd be a little. It's either insta win or insta loss, because like Robin has the ability to like summon hands or legs or any part of her body wherever she wants. And she usually gets a bunch of arms together on her back if she wants to fly with them and make wings, or she can stamp people onto the floor, or she goes for the more assassin route and summon hands on their shoulders and start to strangle people, or like try to subdue them normally.
Again, I feel like because of the fact that by this point Luca still has her sword, and her gun. So I feel like with that, if like Robin tried to like strangle her from like to the ground or whatever, like Luca could probably like, because remember the Gokai sabers have grappling hooks like on the pommel of the sword. I mean, I know grappling out of a strangling hand is the stupidest thing you could possibly do. So the best thing you could do is try to shoot or cut the hand that's strangling you.
I mean, she still feels the damage. She still feels pain from getting her hands cut or whatever.
Oh yeah, totally. Which is why Luca would probably Luca and Marvelous are like the biggest risk takers. I feel like Luca would definitely like take the risk of like shooting hands or cutting off hands that are like strangling her, because like there were a few moments in Gokaiger where like a Gokaiger would get strangled and they would like fidget themselves out of it or get shot at by another to get out of a certain scenario. So I feel like if Luca were to do that, it would be like a simple Tuesday for her.
I don't think it's like a fight to the death either, though. So it's like she might be going for the arms specifically, so she can like hold their arms back. How strong do you think Luca is when it comes to like physical strength?
In terms of physical strength, she's a lot better when it comes to actual sword, like using weapons more. In terms of like physical combat, I don't think she's the strongest, but I do think she's, because her whole archetype is that she was a thief. She was a run-of-the-mill thief, stealing for poor people, basically Robin Hood before she met up with the Gokaigers. That speed and agility to her advantage, and she's not the most durable one. So I think in terms of durability, she's like one of the she's in the middle, because in order to have speed and agility, you need to be pretty strong, physically. But she's not as strong as Joe or Marvelous, but she's definitely stronger than Ahim and Doc and Guy. Not in terms of powers, but in terms of physical strength.
Yeah.
So I think Ahim is like more neutral, more natural. So
I think Robin also has a very similar backstory, where she was pretty much a starving child or orphan or something like that. Where she's going around stealing and stuff like that. That's less so than Nami, who's the actual thief. But she's not really athletic per se. She's more of an archaeologist kind of deal. I can see her winning, but I can also see a reason why she would lose in this fight.
That being,
she's not very fast. I haven't seen her fight in a long time, because like the writer for One Piece, they just went a long, 400 plus episodes without even her being in the fight as a main candidate. But she did do something really impressive recently. It just depends on how she uses her power.
And we're talking like a specific arc, like,
yeah.
So
I'd say Alabasta arc. She's more of a spy more than anything else. So If she, but I don't think a spy would be that much helpful in a regular fight where the enemies are. I can see her losing if she can't really get a hold on Luca's arms. Because if she's stronger than Luca when it comes to physical strength, or like how holds in wrestling or stuff work, it's not about strength per se. It's more about positioning.
Yeah.
If Luca can swing around the weapon before she gets fully captured or whatever, she can predict what's gonna happen first. Then it should be easier to handle Robin.
Yeah, and with that, the Gokaigers swing around their swords like they're freaking yo-yos at times. So
yeah,
yeah. So I feel like this one Luca's taking the dub. I think this is our first official dub for the Gokaigers.
I can see.
Because think about it, we had a stalemate for Luffy versus Marvelous. We had a stalemate. Zoro chopped through Joe's swords, and this is our first actual dub for Gokaiger. So Luca takes our first W. So he shit out, and I'm just kidding.
Nah, I wasn't really banking on Robin anyway.
All right, so Doc versus Sanji next. Right off the bat, they don't want to fight each other, or at least Doc doesn't. Well, he's only fighting Sanji because he's the only one left, and also because Marvelous, basically told him to hey, yo, fight these people. These guys are in our way. So right off the bat, Doc is just trying to stay as far away from Sanji as possible. But I feel like one of Doc's earliest mistakes would be is that he would charge at Sanji because he's just a guy in a suit. Like what's a guy in a suit going to do to him? He's a pirate.
Sanji's gonna probably murder this. Oh, not murder, but since especially in this arc specifically, he can step on the air so fast or kick the air so fast he can fly or walk on air. He has really strong legs. He has really fast speed. His durability is superhuman. Think of Goku or something. Oh, Kid Goku, not or what's another comparable example? Who's someone else I know? I would compare it.
April?
Yeah, I'd even compare it to the Sentai's suits on their durability when they get hit by weapons like that.
Oh shit! So Sanji's base forms so basically Sanji is Sentai durability, but without the suit.
Probably weaker.
Yeah, a little weak.
It's think of a Iron Man or something like that. I think his durability would be like iron.
Okay, so instantly with that, let's get the picture in our head. Doc charges at Sanji because again, it's a guy in a suit. What's he gonna do? Sanji smirks, does the nothing personnel kid, jumps over Doc, and just ground slams him, and of course kicks his body away, and Doc gets up, and he's like, oh shit. So he's fiery. Actually, what is Sanji against bullets? I know you said that he's basically Iron Man, but with his durability is through the roof, but how would he fare against guns?
Depending on power of gun, I haven't seen him get hit by a gun. That's the problem. He's usually dodging every single bullet. But if it did hit him, it would probably be ow, it hurts, as opposed to hey, it's piercing through my body.
Okay. So it would basically just be getting hit by a golf ball.
Yeah, or getting hit with bullets when you have a bulletproof vest on.
Okay. So Sanji would be able to dodge Doc's bullets, because another thing about Doc is that again, he's not a born fighter, and you would think that Doc would get a lot better, and Doc does get better. In the show, he's better at fighting and finding his place in the Gokaigers, but I feel Doc is still one of the weaker members of the team when it comes down to his actual fighting skills. Fighting isn't his forte. So with that, we have Sanji not only kicking him to the ground and kicking his body away enough for Doc to basically get back up and just be oh shit. Doc will try to shoot him with his bullet, stay in range as possible. And remember, this is when Joe would yell for Doc to throw him his sword. So now Doc has two guns. So Doc has two guns and he's firing at Sanji. And this is probably where Sanji would probably get hit by a few of Doc's bullets, but remember, Doc doesn't have a sword anymore. He has two guns. That's all he can do against Sanji. So I think this is where Sanji would take the dub, because like you said, Sanji would just be ow shit, man, that hurts. Why'd you do that, man? Why'd you do that?
Let's kick him to the floor.
Which it makes the One Piece characters sound so overpowered, but it's like, yeah, they kind of are, but at the same time, so are Sentai characters. So it really, it's like, yeah, they're powerful. What can I say? What can I say about them? They're powerful. And I know what people might be saying here. It's like, why aren't you like having them Gokai change? Well, the Gokaigers Gokai change as a group, and I know they Gokai change themselves, like, you know, individually in some episodes, but I mostly just want to stick with the Gokaigers base forms. I don't want to focus on the Ranger teams because, like I said countless times before, the Ranger teams will just make the Gokaigers like too busted. I feel like including the Ranger teams would just have the Gokaigers just like
wash.
And I understand. Yeah, and I understand that, like, you know, that's like the whole point of Gokaiger. Like they change into a different Sentai team, like when the situation gets rough. But again, this is against, but that's mostly against like Zangyak Empire people. Those are people that they want to kill. They use the Sentai powers on the people they want to, and so you could, like, you know, say it's like, well, Steven, they faced off against people that aren't Zangyak and used Sentai powers. Yeah, the evil possessed keys that Bosco had. Yeah, but those were still keys. They were trying to kill him. So yeah, Doc would not be using any Sentai power here. And plus, even with that, he still has 2 guns. Base form Doc, yeah, Sanji would win. Like, I feel like what Sanji would do to finish off the fight is that even though he has 2 guns, he still manages to dodge most of Doc's bullets. He gets hit by some, and Doc does see some reaction to that, but he knows that's not going to take Sanji down. Sanji will then get up close and just kick Doc in the balls and just send him to high heaven. So Doc is down. I hate saying that about Doc because, like, he's one of my favorite, like, characters in Gokaiger, but, like, I think that's how it would work. I mean, unless you have like any other spill.
What's it called? Doc. I don't see him winning, and not against Sanji. Because Sanji's like one of the top 3 in what's it called, Luffy's team. Where I think it would be fair to say that Guy, Joe, what's it called, and Marvelous are probably top 3 on that side, or Luca, whatever one you want to swap Guy with. But when it comes to Sanji, I don't think most people can handle him unless they have like really insane technique when it comes to fighting. For example, not Luca. I think Joe is really skilled with the sword play, because I remember back at one of the episodes, he was doing some Itachi like training where he was swinging swords at himself from different locations and like deflecting them and dodging and stuff like that, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, that was the Blue Saber. That was like the Blue Saber episode, I think.
Yeah. Who do you want to do next?
Okay, so yeah, we both just unanimously agreed. Yeah, Sanji taking that W. Okay. Next up we have